Hey y'all, Natalie here today, and I am bringing you a Disney layout. I'm still working my way through our last trip album from 2019, and I have this photo of my boys with Minnie and Mickey at Animal Kingdom that I wanted to do a page about. I'm going to use some kind of like non-traditional Disney colors, although Animal Kingdom doesn't really do the black, red, white thing that we associate with Disney anyway, so I'm using those colors that I found in the photo. So I'm using that fossilized amber distress oxide, and I just want to put a big circular splotch there in the middle. I have clear gesso on the page already. And my album for this trip is an 8.5 by 11 album, and it's bursting at the seams, y'all. Like, I really don't want to have to do 2 volumes, but it might have to get to that point. I might separate out the wedding. My brother got married there, and so I might separate out the wedding from like the rest of the trip maybe. But anyway, so I'm just working with my watercolor brush and just moving it around the page. And then I'm going to do a little bit at the top and a little bit at the bottom to bring additional interest, because it's just a big stark white page and I'm not really using much pattern paper. So I pulled that yellow and a turquoise color from the photo. There's just like a bar of it below them. And then the background is like a sunset, deep orange. And so I just want that to kind of be a highlight color on my background since it's so prominent in the photo. I'm going to let that dry here magically with the power of editing. And boom, there it is. And I just love how Distress Oxides dry on top of gesso. It's so beautiful. So this is a stencil from Simple Stories, and I just want to kind of use the brushes are from Catherine Pooler. They're all found in the Cherry on Top store, and I just want to kind of like give a really darker image in the middle and fade out to the edges. I ended up covering up most of it and have to go back and add additional stenciling, so I should have just gone ahead and gone to the very edge of the circle, but I really love how that looks. I'm really happy with it. It kind of softened up the color. Obviously, when I put the blue on top of the yellow, it made it a little bit of a green tinge, but it is still turquoise, like what I would still call it, definitely. But it's not that like a lagoon turquoise that you see there on the original ink pad. So, clean your stencils, y'all. Now I am putting the campfire ink pad down, making it a watercolor, and using a very small paintbrush to just give splatters. Like I said, I just want the burnt orange color to be a detail color because it is so prominent in the photo, but I wanted to bring it onto the page just to give a cohesion between the page and the photo. Small tiny paintbrush will give you small tiny splatters. Also, cheap paintbrushes will leave their hairs on your paper, so get those off. So I backed the photo in white and I distressed the edges, and then I used the same Folk die, which is from Pink Fresh Studio, that I used to cut the photo, and I cut that orange paper, and it has like a cute little detailed edge that has a cutout. My title is going to say Wild About Disney, so I cut Wild with my favorite skinny alpha die from Momenta, and then I cut About Disney with my favorite double cut Heather alpha die from Pink Fresh Studio. It gives you the inside and the outside, and right here I'm taking out the dies, and I was thinking about if I was going to use the inside or the outside, but I almost always end up using the outline. I like to use the outline here because you can still see the mixed media through the outline, and so it's usually my go-to, really. But sometimes I pile them up. I love to do like a glittery outline and then a solid insert. Sometimes I've done like embossed inserts and a solid outline. Those are fun. One time I did like a floral outline and a solid insert, and that was really classy and pretty. So here's where I decided that I've covered up most of the stenciling with the photo, and so I need to add a little more around the edges to make it peek out. So that's all I'm doing there. I'm just matching up the stenciling with what I previously did to make it look right, to make it look like I did it properly the first time. So now it's time to start adding back the letters. So I'm using my Nuvo adhesive, and I'm just going to go around the circle. I am going to kind of offset it so that it just adds a little more interest. So I love to use non-traditional Disney colors, but especially with Animal Kingdom. It is my favorite park. I think it's because everything is so distressed and there's banners everywhere, and it's just like my scrapbooking. It's eclectic. It has a lot of travel in it. Yeah, a lot of leopard print. Yeah, it's my favorite park for sure. We haven't been back in a while, obviously. Well, not obviously. I guess people are going, but we haven't been back. And I'm itching for a trip soon, maybe. I don't know. So I'm just seeing how far around the circle my letters go and kind of making sure they fit. And I thought they were going to pretty much go straight up to the wild, but I ended up having a little empty spot, and I'll show you how I decided to fill that. So I don't have many embellishments with these color schemes, but I definitely don't have Disney embellishments with these color schemes. So I make my own. I am using that orange color to do a very light swatch of color here with my blending brush. And then I'm going to pick the proper blue. It's actually like more of a green color to match the way that the stamping and the lettering turned out on the page. And I'm going to use this cute little Mickey ears stamp. And I'm just going to, I did it on my stamping platform so I could do it a couple times because it wasn't one to stamp really great. And then I'm just going to like make my own little die cut here. So I'm going to use my circle punch and punch that out. I just needed a little something to finish up that circle there and tie into Disney. This is a really fun way to use a unique color scheme, but obviously you probably don't have embellishments when you're using such a unique color scheme, so sometimes you have to make your own. I know Laura Alberts is really good at making her own embellishments. If you need some inspiration, head over to her channel and see her tips for making embellishments. So I have this ugly Disney paper, and it's not really ugly, it's just not my style. But it is kind of the right colors. So I was like, well, let's try it out. So I needed some interest on the sides, so I cut off little strips, and I just want those stripes to peek out from either side of these strips. But they match really well, except there's like a pink color. But really, in the background of the photo, it's kind of like a sunset, so there is a pink color in there as well. So it works. But this is something I have in my stash that it's just not really my typical style, and I don't really go to it. But once I start putting the stripes on, I realize that there's some kind of cute little sentiments on the back, and they can be fussy cut. And they could be the embellishments that I need. So I do that a couple of times. And they're glittery too, which is always a plus in my book, right? So yeah, that was exciting. So I rough up those edges and I lift them up a little bit to give some interest. And I'm really happy with how that looks. It's really bright and fun and exciting for their photo pass photo with Mickey and Minnie. And this is when I decided to start fussy cutting the backside. Oh, I pulled out some stickers and stuff from mostly Studio Calico. I have this little basket, and it's mostly Studio Calico stuff. But I love those bright cassettes, so I just decided to start layering stickers up. And obviously, cassettes don't have anything to do with the photo, but they're just the bright, necessary pop of color that matches, and you can't really tell what it is. It just kind of gives a little interest to the page. It serves as an anchor for that little banner sticker. So that's why I chose to pull those out. What am I doing here? So I'm doing a little cluster of stickers at the top and at the bottom in the little sections where I put the ink. And I don't want too many more words because I have a lot of words around the title and it's such a small page. I don't want to distract. So I found that little bit. It's Mickey's hand giving a thumbs up. So I'm going to fussy cut that. And then there actually ended up being Mickey ears that were the exact same color blue that I just stamped onto my homemade embellishments. So I fussy cut those, but they are glittery, so that's just a little different. So I'm going to stick those up there with that sticker cluster. And what am I doing? I'm deciding exactly what else I want to add to the cluster down there. I think about fussy cutting some more, and I really like the banner that says Mickey, but there's no banner that says Minnie, and they're both in the photos. So I decided to not use that. So I end up just deciding to use the those Bella Boulevard, I think they are, hearts. They might be Illustrated Faith, but they're really bright colors, oranges, pinks, the blue. It's just like the perfect color. So I'm going to glue everything down, and and then we're going to be done. I would love it if you would subscribe to my channel. It's probably completely unattainable, but I was thinking, like, wouldn't it be really cool to start the new year with 1,000 subscribers? That's a huge jump, and it probably won't happen, but it's just a thought. So if you'd love to recommend me to any of your crafty friends, I'd also love that as well. I'd take a like as well, and I hope that you guys have a wonderful Thanksgiving tomorrow if you're on stateside here. I'm going to link down below with my cherry on top links. There are some amazing Black Friday deals coming up in just a couple days. So check out my Instagram too, because I'm going to post my favorite ones. And yeah, if you need any help being enabled, I will definitely talk you into buying stuff. Thanks for watching, y'all, and I appreciate it. Bye.